The news continues from down there, Reese. We're back here at Raymond James Stadium, the 18th edition of the Outback Bowl. It's Wisconsin against Georgia. A couple of teams with very zealous followers because they are indeed two of the preeminent football programs in America. Georgia and Wisconsin both coming in at 9-2. Wisconsin winning the toss, deferring to the second half. The Bulldogs electing then they will receive. Couple of teams with a lot to prove today. Eloff's kick comes down rather shallow at the 12-yard line. The 6'3" senior, the winningest quarterback in NCAA history. He has passed Peyton Manning's record. Some great skilled players. The freshman Thomas Brown, one of the key players today for the Bulldogs.
And keep an eye on the tight end Leonard Pope, number 81, 6'8", and runs a 4.5 40.
Very big, talented offensive line, and Erasmus James moving prematurely. Doesn't matter. This pass complete to Pope. The player mentioned just seconds ago. There's a flag down on the play.
And draws a cadence in this football game is critical because this defensive end, Erasmus James, I think is the best speed rusher in college football. All four of these defensive linemen, Mark, for Wisconsin, will play in the NFL. And the freshman Andy Crooks gets the start at middle linebacker.
Jim Leonard, a stellar performer there at free safety, an All-American candidate for the Badgers. First down and 10 after the first play of the ball game. Green to lefty, slinging again. And this pass going to be complete to Reggie Brown, still on his feet. Going to be interesting to see where they mark the forward progress.
Just trying for extra yardage, loses yardage.
Green with his first incompletion, that intended for Freddie Gibson, who we'll see during the course of the game whether James and his guys up front can get a read on that cadence. The handoff is to Brown. Brown, the freshman, has the first down at the 37-yard line, tackled finally.
Great call right there by Mark Richt.
Richt calling all the plays. He hands it off to Brown again, finds a nice hole up the middle. Down to the 30-yard line. Danny Ware now in at tailback. Keep an eye on Ware. He's wearing a cast on his right hand. Been bothered by various injuries throughout the last half of the season. Green to pass. Finds Pope once again. And Pope has a first down at the 16 of Wisconsin.
Pass last year as a freshman. Again, we see Wisconsin knew this was coming.
By contact, number 92 of the defense at the 5-yard penalty. It's still first down.
Keep in mind, Wisconsin has not played a football game in 6 weeks. Georgia has not played in 5 weeks.
Green hands it off. Down to the 8-yard line, that was Danny Ware. His second down and 3. Working out of the shotgun this time. Handed off to Ware. Ware making a couple guys miss. Making it down to the 6-yard line. First down and goal for the Bulldogs, working out of the eye. Give it to the fullback that time, Des Williams, and Williams stopped up right at the line of scrimmage.
He was the first one off the line, got a penalty early, and he has been ferocious. Guys, you got to respect him that he's not worried about his dollars. He's worried about going out with some pride.
And playing hard so far. That time, Ware making it down to the 3-yard line. Jim Leonard, 2 tight ends, Milner and Pope. Brown back in the ball game at tailback. Now Pope splitting out to his right. On the fade to Pope, nothing doing. The Badger defense resilient in the red zone. Scott Starks.
He hit a 44-yarder against Georgia Tech in their last football game, but only his second field goal of his career.
That was a perfect 1-for-1 so far. Make that 2 for 2. That one coming from 20 yards out. Mark Richt looking for his 3rd consecutive 10-win season with a victory today. An auspicious beginning for the Bulldogs when we come back. You just said, hey, that'd have been good from 50. What are you talking about?
Sometimes the less they know, the better.
See if the Badgers here can answer that opening scoring drive. Brandon Williams on the return for the Badgers, stopped up immediately, shy of the 20-yard line. John Stocco, first-year starting quarterback for the Wisconsin Badgers, threw 8 touchdowns against 7 interceptions this year. Today's starting lineup presented by the United States Marine Corps. Anthony Davis, the big story in the backfield. How healthy is he, and can he get it done today?
Anthony Davis' success hinges on this offensive line. They are completely healthy. I think one of the best run-blocking groups in all of college football.
Morgan Davis getting the start at that tackle spot. He's going to be matched up against Pollock a lot today. Here's Davis right between the tackles and looking good on his first run out to the 25-yard line. David Pollock, the leader up there, the three-time All-American, had 9.5 sacks this season.
And David Pollock is fun to watch. This middle linebacker, Odell Thurman, is like a tailback playing middle linebacker in this secondary led by Thomas Davis. He is a first-round pick.
Second down and about 4 to go. It's Davis again. And Davis got drilled at the 23-yard line. Jarvis Jackson jacked him up.
Jarvis Jackson getting the start today. Oh!
Owen Daniels now splits out wide. Stocco has time. Darren Charles with the reception in the first down at the 36-yard line.
Catch right there by the long-armed Darren Charles.
Little play fake to Davis. Stocco going up top. Has Charles and overshot him. Darren Charles was open in behind Minter.
And then throwing off play action.
That means Anthony Davis, of course, and second down and 10 here. And Davis again. His third carry of the ball game. Just beyond the 40-yard line, Odell Thurman.
Kind of some quiet whispers around the Madison community and campus that he didn't play and should have played. But
prior to the snap, that was a false start. 72 of the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty. It's still third down.
Here he is at the top of the field. This guy is quick.
Stocco had time and overthrew Charles again.
Stocco, the quarterback, already looks a little rattled to me.
Boy, what a great kick here by Ken DeBush. Fielded. First down and 10 for Georgia at the 15-yard line. Green to pass. Completes it to Thomas Brown. And Brown made a nice move and got up to 20. Put it on the ground. And Wisconsin has it. Jim Leonard pounces on the loose pill.
And right here, we're going to see the ball come out. No question that that football is out, but
great field position for Wisconsin at Georgia's 23. Stocco, quick three-step drop. Had it batted down at the line of scrimmage by guess who? David Pollock.
He came down to Florida and Georgia. One of the great stories in college football.
Backs out of the eye, Anthony Davis dancing between the tackles. Nowhere to go, though. Davis will make it up to about the 24.
And pulled back on that right shoulder.
And we got flags down again.
The other side of the football.
False start. Offensive line. That's a 5-yard penalty. It's still third down.
For Wisconsin.
Stocco working out of the shotgun, rolling out. Going back the other way for Davis. Incomplete, and boy, that was a dangerous pass. Mike Allen, as a result, though, in to attempt a field goal from 46 yards out. He's 3 of 5 on the year from this distance. And he drills that one right down Main Street, and we are tied at 3 apiece. Mike Allen with plenty of room to spare.
And
time on the field.
Fumble, marked by Dontez Sanders. Wisconsin able to cash in. That Outback steak, that big blooming onion they bring you at halftime.
Browning back deep for the kick. This is a move that they said they were going to make. Actually, Shockley now.
DJ Shockley normally comes in the third series of the game. And look at that receiver out there. Double pass.
Gimmick coming up. They throw it back, and this one imploding right from the beginning. Starks almost had himself. There's Shockley incomplete. Intended for Reggie Brown. So
he can beat you with his legs. Probably more than he can beat you throwing that football right here if you're Wisconsin.
He's our quarterback of the future. Wisconsin dialing up some pressure. Shockley using those legs. Out to about the 41-yard line, about 4 yards short of the first down. Very vocal about the fact that, hey, we're not just a bunch of laborers and heavy-footed guys up here in the Midwest. Leonard, for one, can run extremely well. Made a couple of guys miss, made it out to the 19-yard line. First and 10 from the 19-yard line out of the shotgun. Stocco, the little shovel pass to Davis with a nice seam Out beyond the 25 to the 26. Backs work out of the eye here on second down. Mike Lorenz now in at tackle. Davis again looking to try and establish him. He gets the first down for Wisconsin. Davis looking strong on consecutive runs for the Badgers. A good sign for them. Brandon Williams in motion. Stocko over the middle. And incomplete, intended for Owen Danielson.
To show a lack of confidence, in my opinion.
See if they can solve that throughout the course of the game. Get him off a little bit. Anthony Davis trying to take a little pressure off of Stocko, but they put the pressure on Davis. Thomas Davis hit third down and 12. Stocko had it knocked away. It'll be ruled incomplete. His arm was coming through. Maybe timing that snap. Flowers back for this punt at the 25. Flowers brought down at the 34, a 9-yard return on the 44-yard punt. Green audibling at the line. Ware gets the handoff as well, and Ware brought down immediately.
Off routes, deep routes, they're going to try to be physical with him and knock him around.
They've only thrown his way once. That one intended for Brown, and Brown knocked at midfield.
These teams aren't going to run up and down that field today.
It's Erasmus Jamestown on 3rd and 11. Trying to make a move on Green. They blocked him well that time. The pass is incomplete. Brett Bell in defense that time. And they almost got to it. They might have tipped it a little bit. Wisconsin's going to have great starting field position here.
Wisconsin again with excellent field position.
Another opportunity. Play fake to Anthony Davis. And they go up top for Jonathan Orr. Incomplete, and we have a flag on the play. Tim Jennings. Now would be a great time. It's against the Bulldogs.
If Wisconsin can run the football a lick, it's going to set up those play-action passes, throwing the football down the field on Georgia's corners.
Handed off to Williams on the reverse. And they sprung it out. Williams steps out of bounds.
A lot of great defense when the bigger, better teams play late in bowl season.
2nd and 11. Stocko looking up top with plenty of time to throw. Hits his man, and that looks like a first down to Brandon Williams, who was working on Tim Jennings.
And they talked about using Tyler Donovan early in the second quarter as kind of a change of pace.
Anthony Davis with a little change of gears down to the 18-yard line.
Nothing will mature you faster than being a quarterback at a big-time college football program.
He's a former high school teammate of Larry Fitzgerald, now with the Cardinals in the NFL. Stocko gonna run it. Pretty good athlete he is. Down to the 20-yard line. Now let's go back to Reed. 3rd down and 6. Stocko sacked back at the 27-yard line by Quentin Moses. So,
and again, Wisconsin has to throw when they want to, not when they have to. They have a hard time protecting John Stocko.
Appropriate that a defensive play would punctuate the last play of the first quarter. That's the tone for the day. We'll be back after this. And Mike Allen about to attempt a field goal from 44 yards out.
Well, Kick Track said, excuse me, Mark, Kick Track said it was good from 50
his last
on that last one. So let's see.
Got it. Knocked it. He's perfect in 2005.
I hope Kick Track factors in that win now, because that one was not going to be good from 50.
What wind? What wind?
That one was good from 44 yards and 2 inches right there.
Are you Kick Track? Taylor Meloff is going to kick off. The left-footed kicker for Wisconsin has not been as proficient in this game as he has most of the year, unless, of course, he's trying these shallow kickoffs on purpose. This one comes down at the 25. I think they said 45. Oh, wouldn't have made 45. Okay. Would not have made 45. Pope, no doubt about that one. The tight end's second catch of the ball game.
It's something called quarters coverage, and a great throw and well-designed play.
Thomas Brown on that run for the Bulldogs got a couple of yards. Tied at 3. Pardon me, at 6-3 Wisconsin. Out near midfield, it's Brown once again, and 3rd down and 5 for the Bulldogs. Green working out of the shotgun. Incomplete and picked off. Chucky Cowens with a blocker in front of him. There's a flag back in the 45. Cowens brought down to the 15. Off of the hands of Thomas Brown, and the Badgers could be in business.
There was holding, number 52 of the offense. That penalty is refused. After the interception, there was holding, number 20 by the return team. That penalty is accepted. The penalty is 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Wisconsin retains the ball. First down.
That was catchable. Pollock back in the ball game. They set up the screen to Anthony Davis, and Davis out near the 40, got about 4. Second down and 5 for Wisconsin from the 40. Rocco hands it off to Davis. Anthony Davis trying to bounce it outside and brought down behind the line of scrimmage at the 38. Unfortunately for Mark Richter, some of those have left early. 3rd and 6. Stakos brought down Thomas Davis.
That was huge because Wisconsin now punts the football instead of getting points.
Yeah, huge difference in field position. This is Thomas Flowers on the punt return. And Flowers out to the 38-yard line. With the ball, first down and 10 from their own 37. They trail by a field goal. This is Danny Ware getting to the edge.
That's what I like about this guy. You know, he keeps his feet moving, and when you think he's out of it, he's not out of it. He's got a second move ready to go ahead and get there. So
because of that hip injury, we'll talk about it more after this play. First down and 10 for Georgia. Green going up top, completes it to Pope, but there's a flag down back at the 45-yard line.
6'4", 190 pounds.
Sly Fox of the heartland of America, Barry Alvarez. First down and 20 for Green, and it's incomplete over the middle.
How big was that holding penalty? Almost as big as the holding penalty on Wisconsin on Cowan's interception return.
The defense is winning the battle so far. Move inside by Brown, stopped up at the line of scrimmage.
In the late bowl games, as are in those early bowl games.
They're not playing in shootouts. 3rd and 21. Green on the comeback. What a move by Brown. And Brown got the first down. Reggie Brown came back to make a marvelous catch.
It's a elusiveness mark in the open field.
Team's leading receiver. Pass complete at the 30-yard line. That one to Freddie Gibson. Second down and 3. David Green, who lives next door to Reggie Brown, can attest to that. They hand it off, and the other Brown, Thomas Brown.
What you love, the big fullback in the game. Both these teams play with fullbacks, which has to help you on these third down situations.
Jeremy Thomas leading the way that time for Brown. Stayed on his feet and got the first down. He broke a tackle.
In this day of spread offense, it's fun to see a fullback lead up through there.
Sure is. And Ware that time running behind the fullback.
Last year, they never had a back run for 100 yards. This year, these guys have done it 7 times.
Gibson, touchdown, Bulldogs.
Receiver who made the great move on 3rd and long to convert the first down.
That was a pivotal play to keep that drive alive. A 19-yard touchdown catch from Freddie Gibson. And Georgia takes a 4-point lead at full speed. There's what it looked like. Boy, David Green put it right where it had to be. First down and 10 for the Badgers. They trail by 4. Tyler Donovan still in at quarterback. Runs it again. Got hit, but spun off of the hit and fell forward to the 38. He was just a scout player last year, Tyler Donovan. Redshirted his first year. This time hands it off to Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis out near the 40-yard line. And it's paid off.
And they play him on both sides, so both offensive tackles are going to get a chance to try to block.
Stocco comes in and fires it incomplete to Darren Charles at the 45-yard line.
Difficult.
High spiral, and Thomas Flowers calling for the fair catch at the 27-yard line of Danny Ware in a tailback. P.J. Shockley was in a couple of series ago for Green. Play fake. The pass is complete at the 47-yard line to Sean Bailey the same game.
Offside, number 90 of the defense. That penalty is refused.
And it's first down and 10 near midfield. Another play fake. Incomplete. Boy, the backup tight end, Milner, was wide open. It made an indelible print on this early in the game. Here's the counter. And Ware is brought down by Jim Leonard. Only time on the play clock.
Again, cadence.
They blocked James well that time. Incomplete. Off of the hands of Williams. The backup fullback should
Snapper in the football game.
Tereshinski, a wobbly snap, and he bobbles it, but there's no rush. Oh, they caught a break that time. And as a result, they're going to get this one down inside the 20 as well.
That would have been a huge turnover and field position switch.
Okay, well, John Stonko back in at quarterback for Wisconsin from the beginning this time, and fires incomplete. It was almost picked off by Minter. A little bit of posturing may have helped. Second down and 10. Trips right formation, but they hand it off to Anthony Davis. Davis into the boundary and brought down short of the 20. Third down and long. Story of the day for the Badgers. Blitz coming by the Bulldogs. Incomplete. Thurman came again with the pressure. He was inside the box. This year. It's a low line drive punt, very returnable. And it takes a Wisconsin bounce, going to be marked at the 44-yard line. And that's going to be a flag as Jim Leonard got rocked from behind. Yeah, that's going to go against the Bulldogs.
And the big tight end, Leonard Pope, back in the football game.
Green heaving it downfield for Gibson.
5 years with Urban Meyer. He's a great coach, but don't start labeling that guy with guru. That's a kiss of death when you start that stuff.
They set up the screen, the Bulldogs do, get the first down, and Thomas Brown atoning for that earlier fumble. James still looking for his first sack. Won't get it on this play. Complete.
They give this quarterback a lot of freedom, and right here you see him taking advantage of that. Really like a coach on the field.
Second down and 4. James goes to the sideline for the Badgers. That pass incomplete at the 46 at Georgia to a comeback win at Tennessee in front of over 107,000.
Keep your eye on that tight end.
Pass is complete to Freddie Gibson at the 44-yard line.
And this is a time where Mark Richt may launch one down that field.
Gonna run it. This is Ware reversing his field, and Ware got about 3 on the play up to the 40. Second down and 6. James is not in the ball game.
I think Georgia.
That was a false start by the offensive guard. It's a 5-yard penalty. It's still second down.
It's hard to just rush them straight up the field.
James back in the ball game for Wisconsin. Coming off the edge, almost got to Green, and it's incomplete at the 30-yard line, intended for Leonard Pope.
The running back run by and chip Erasmus James on the snap of the ball.
Thomas Brown in the backfield. Yeah, he came up. The pass is complete at the 31-yard line to Reggie Brown.
I love the way he gets rid of that football.
Right now they are in field goal range for Coutu. Green incomplete at the 22, intended for Gibson. 46 seconds to go in the first half. Green fires incomplete. Intended for Bailey. Good coverage by Robert Brooks. 11th play of the drive. They've run it 9 times. Pardon me, passed it 9 times. And they'll pass again. And they sack Green back at the 35. That takes them further. Okay, Coutu coming now from 52 yards out. Just his 3rd attempt of the season. Oh, and he missed it to the right. Had enough distance.
Maybe a little ice led to that wide right, huh?
Yeah, Barry Alvarez froze him just enough. Erasmus James trying to make an imprint on this game from his defensive end spot. Welcome back, everyone, to Tampa, with Georgia leading by a score of 10-6 as we get ready now for the start of the third quarter. So that's Brandon Williams back deep to receive the kickoff. Can Anthony Davis, John Stocco, Owen Daniel, Jonathan Orr, Darren Charles, Brandon Williams get on track here to set the tone here early for Wisconsin in the second half? This is going to be Williams at the 4-yard line. And Brandon Williams returns it out to the 22.
Stocco 4 for 13 in the first half for only 37 yards.
Hands it off to Anthony Davis. Bouncing, it has one guy to the edge, and Davis with a nice run out to the 29-yard line. African American Studies in English. This is Davis again. Davis close to the first down at about the 32-yard line.
And as productive as he's done, I think he needs to finish it out today with something big.
Line up out of the eye. Little play fake this time. Stocco completes it to Davis. And Davis is brought down just shy of the 34. Making the tackle 7 yards downfield. It's going to be a hold against Wisconsin. Davis is the deep back out of the offset eye. And he ran into Stocco. It's been that type of day for Stocco and Davis. They collided with each other. Stocco put the best hit on Davis that time. 2nd and 26. Blitz coming. Thurman with the sack back at the 6. Handed off to Anthony Davis. Davis cut it back up inside out to the 21, so he got some of it back. The Bush with the punt. No rush coming. Gets off a high spiral, which drives Thomas Flowers back to his 32. Found an alley, made it back out to the 47-yard line. Several great plays. One of them went in Wisconsin's favor, that Purdue game. Run that time to Thomas Brown, Iowa.
We have a personal foul, number 74 of the offense, for continuous hands to the face. That's a 15-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
That seems to be something they contend with every year, and it's a good, bad situation. At least you got a bunch of talented guys that have that option.
And talented players that make catches like that. Reggie Brown was in the area, but Sean Bailey made the catch that time.
But Sean Bailey came in with 12 catches for 184 yards, and they expect great things out of him.
Little shuffle pass inside to Brown. Brown has some room. Jim Leonard making the tackle at the 24-yard line, but another first down for the Bulldogs offensively.
Again, and you see the speed of the freshman back.
Here's the play fake. Oh, it's complete. What a rebound catch. Oh, magic on New Year's Day. Touchdown, Thomas. Jeremy Thomas.
Pass interference, number 42 of the defense. By rule, that penalty is declined. Touchdown.
The ball took a crazy carom, Bob. As far as Wisconsin goes, that is a discouraging, disheartening play.
But they just got a cheap one right here. You're going to see that football ricochet off of Robert Brooks.
Brooks thought he made a great play.
And right into the hands of Jeremy Thomas for the touchdown.
Back with more.
Completely struggling on their first offensive drive. Then the fluke touchdown. They're going to have to really be tough mentally right here, Wisconsin. And they need something on this kickoff return to get some positive field position.
Brandon Williams. Brought down at the 24, but there's a flag back at the 9. 63 total yards of offense to 320 for Georgia. They've got to get something going offensively, and Booker Stanley now in a tailback for Wisconsin. Anthony Davis going to watch. Stocco almost had it intercepted. A lot of Georgia fans at that part of the end zone right now. Here's Booker Stanley. Giving them a little bit more room out to the 9. Great.
Third down right here.
6 to go. They've got to get out to the 15. Stocco fires high. It's up in the air. And incomplete. Oh, that was hanging up there seemingly forever. And the Badgers reeling a little bit right now. And a low line drive punt coming down to Flowers to 45. Flowers got about 8 on the punt return.
He's the biggest, heaviest mascot they've ever had. That guy weighs 64 pounds right there.
And the offense muscling up behind David Green for Gibson, incomplete.
Particularly by Michigan State. That was a heck of a play.
It's up second down. Ware is brought down at about the 41-yard line. Third down and 5. Green working out of the shotgun. Handed off. Ware has the first down and then some. All the way down to the 19-yard line.
Excellent play call.
First down and 10 from the 20. Ware once again brought down to the 13. There's a flag down. 4 seniors led by Erasmus James and Antaj Hawthorne.
They got to dig in right here, Marco. This football game's going to be over.
They're not getting much help. Here's Green back to pass. Has a man and overshot him at the 3-yard line. A 3-receiver formation for the Bulldogs. Oh, Brown with a gaping hole. Touchdown, Bulldogs ready to bark. For Brown, a 29-yard scamper. And right now, Georgia looking for that knockout blow. It's all smiles. The red you see right now is Bulldog red. We'll be right back. Quarter. With 6.5 minutes to go. Wisconsin with a daunting challenge ahead. And Williams might have been better off letting that one go out of bounds.
He's got a talented Georgia defense. He's got those Georgia fans right behind him, and he doesn't have much confidence.
Here's Williams going side to side and brought down to the 13-yard line. Had a problem with a contact lens, we're told by Holly Rowe a few moments ago. And who was that to? 3rd and 9. Complete to Darren Charles for the first down at the 33-yard line. That's a good as ball.
You are exactly right with that.
First down and 10. Look at the anemic offense. Owen Daniels trying to bring it to life with some potency down to the 35. In behind Thomas Davis.
Wide receivers. But can he cover a tight end?
And that was Daniels' first catch of the day for 30 yards. Anthony Davis getting a little wiggle on, making some moves down to the 28. A good game.
And you got to think play action right here, don't you, on 2nd and 1?
That's what they run. Williams got the first down out of bounds at the 22-yard line. Stocco 3 of 4 for 56 yards on this drive. First and 10 from the 22. Anthony Davis got across the 20 to the 19. 3 yards on first.
But this guy doesn't read the newspaper. The only thing he does, he watches Sports Center.
Does a lot of working out. Here's Stocco into the end zone. Touchdown, Darren Charles. They threw it up for grabs on the shorter winter. Oh, and when they needed to respond, they did. Wisconsin snapping that 21-0 run.
That's 6'6" against 5'11". And the 6'6" guy showed a little strength right there, wrestling that ball away.
Stocco sticking it to the Bulldogs. Still up in it. We'll be back with more after this.
Times when you don't expect it.
Now off with the kickoff. Are we going to get a touchback or out of bounds at the 1?
Looked like he called it at the 1. Doesn't matter.
Was caught by the receiver. He stepped out of bounds. It's his ball at the furthest most point when the ball was out of bounds. First down at the 1-foot line.
Let's look closely right here.
Doesn't have it yet. Now
but look at the football, Mark. The football has not crossed that plane, and he steps out.
All right, and DJ Shockley now in at quarterback for the Bulldogs. Hands it off, but there's a flag down in the end zone, and we're going to have some premature motion.
snap. That penalty is refused. Second down.
A little over 3 minutes to go in the period. Shockley's going to pass it out of the end zone. Now decides to run.
There you go.
And a good decision. He got the first down. And there might have been a face mask, too.
But Georgia gets themselves out of the shadow of that end zone.
Georgia outgaining Wisconsin on the ground today. And Shockley going to try and add to that discrepancy. Weaving beyond the 20 to the 22-yard line. The son of a high school coach. The last 2 semesters in the classroom, he's at a 3.6 and a 3.7. And looking for a 4.0 here. Incomplete.
And ever a time for DJ Shockley to take off and run with that football.
He passes it, tipped up and incomplete. So it'll be 4th down, punting situation. It's off a high one. Jimmy Leonard fields it at the 43. And those were the 2 favorite targets of Stocco on the last drive. See if Anthony Davis can get it cranked up again. That's Williams in motion. Stocco had the time, and Charles got tackled downfield, but it's caught by Brandon Williams. So now Wisconsin catches a break. The Badgers making a move in the red zone at the 19-yard line. Anthony Davis, the deep back out of the eye. It's Davis. Brought down after a gain of about 1. Little blitz coming. Stocco. And one of his receivers broke off a pattern, Brandon White.
So don't turn it over right here, John Stocco.
On 3rd and 10. Sack from behind. Who else? Pollock at the 19-yard line. Well, he has a cut on his eye, a bloodied lip. But in the immortal words of Rocky, he turned to his medical staff and said, "Cut me, Mick." Earlier, it was a fluke touchdown by Thomas. Late, though, it was Darren Charles. We got a ball game. Back after this.
Because a touchdown and a 2-point conversion would tie this game if he could make this. You got to be proud of Mike Allen. 2 for 2 today. Bounce back from a tough end to the regular season.
10 to 15 career from this distance, and oh my, he blew that one to the right. An egregious, severe miss by Mike Allen. Well, coming back the other way, it's Green from the 20. Play fake. Tons of time, but incomplete.
And there's a reason for that. He wants his coaches to spend time with their families, get their children off to school.
2nd and 10, and Thomas Brown on the carry gains a couple of yards.
The only question he had, was he tough enough? And I think he's proven that he is.
That record certainly has. Here's the screen pass to the backside to Bailey. And Bailey is going to be brought down.
He's won a bunch of football games.
4th down and 6. Not a great effort. Jim Leonard feels it on the fly on Georgia's side of midfield. Leonard with a nice return down to the 45. So once again, the 8 on the return and a personal foul against the Bulldogs. So Jonathan Orr split to the bottom of your screen. A tall, lanky, speedy receiver. John Stocco back to pass. Had it batted down to the line of scrimmage by Odell Thurman.
And Georgia in man-to-man coverage right here.
Stocco tripped and fell. Wasn't even able to hand the ball off. 3rd and 14. He stepped on the center's foot. Donovan Raiola. Daniels in motion. Pressure coming. Stocco sacked and fumbled. Bulldogs have it at the 34. Thomas Davis made the hit. Jarvis Jackson made the recovery.
That's uncalled for a 5th-year player, the caliber of Anthony Davis, to let that happen right there.
Freddie Gibson in motion. Wisconsin blowing another opportunity. Bulldogs and Thomas Brown run it out to the 35. Erasmus James has yet to register a sack in this game. That's Brown again out to the 35. Georgia 6 of 14 on 3rd down today. Green almost picked off. That should have been picked by Zalewski. high spiral. Leonard has 3 returns for touchdown in his career. Good spin move to get away. Jimmy Leonard still on the move. An outstanding effort by the senior. For Wisconsin, the story of the game so far has been missed opportunities. Unable to take advantage of miscues by Georgia. Stocka going to Jonathan Orr. Incomplete.
That's pass interference right
No
there.
flag. Yeah, just 190 total yards of offense. Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis with a burst, and Anthony Davis comes alive. Down to the 31-yard line after that pickup of 25. First and 10, Stocko out of the shotgun looking for the screen. It's Davis. And brought down to the 31. Second down and 9. Anthony Davis on the draw. Davis down to the 28-yard line.
Keep an eye maybe on Jonathan Orr on a crossing route right here.
Stocko complete to Daniels for the first down and then some at the 16-yard line. It's first and 10. Kosiak in motion. They give it to Davis. He's brought down at the 13 by Derek White. Out of the backfield, Davis has a couple of blockers in front of him. And Davis got rocked by Odell, ringing bells.
I think it's 4-down territory.
Got to think that way. They give it to Bernstein, the fullback, plowing his way down to the 6. About 2:30 Eastern.
I think they're going to quarterback sneak.
Little motion up front. Davis gets the carry. And Davis may have gotten the first down to the 5. It was Brian White up top, the Wisconsin offensive coordinator. Williams in motion, play fake, and Pollock got Stocko back at the 15. He came off the edge. And it's Georgia ball. Houdini's in the house.
It's over right now. Caused fumble and recovered fumble.
The 15. Wow.
Morgan Davis looked like he expected help from the tight end.
Brown, meanwhile, Reese and Iowa with an edge there. Big Ten getting it done in that game, but not in this one. Pass complete to the fullback, Des Williams. Aaron Miles going up against Jared Jack. Great point guard battle there. Screen pass picked off. Touchdown Badgers. They're not ready to go home yet. Crooks. They're going to go for 2, as you said. An empty formation, 5 receivers. Orr got it, and it's a 3-point game. The son of a minister with the catch.
I don't think those people are going to that Georgia Tech basketball game right now. Stay right here. Here's the touchdown. First watch Thomas Brown hold right here. Then the screen pass, and Andy Crooks. That's pretty good hands
Great
by
hands.
a freshman linebacker.
And Wisconsin alive and well.
By Wisconsin's defense.
Another short kickoff down to the 11. This is Browning. Browning up the sideline in a nice return out to the 40-yard line. Green on a play fake. Complete to Freddie Gibson. Holly Rowe,
What a contrast between those two guys. One guy starting, one guy leaving.
They hand it off once again to Brown. Bounces it outside. He got the first down into Wisconsin territory. Although there's a lot of factors that go into that. Brown. Oh, what a move on Leonard. And another first down for Brown at the 24 of Wisconsin's. Pound for pound, the strongest player on that Georgia team. And he gets the carry again. Brown plowing forward inside the 20 to the Second down and 5. Brown again, this time chopped behind the line of scrimmage. Knifing through the defense was Brett Bell.
If they run the ball, that'll force Wisconsin to use their last timeout.
It's Brown again. Made one Wisconsin tackler miss and 2. Oh, what an effort by Brown. He may have lunged his way to the first down. You almost have to kick the field goal, don't you?
And first of all, if he is short, Wisconsin will call timeout right away. Georgia will kick the field goal. And these are 2 300-pound defensive linemen in here. I hud it and try to draw Wisconsin offsides right here.
They give it to Brown. He got the first down. And for Brown, the third 100-yard rushing game this season for him.
And recruiting starts tomorrow for these coaches on both teams. And Mark Richt, it's a lot easier and a lot more fun when you win your bowl game.
So the second meeting between Wisconsin and Georgia, like the first one before it, goes to the Bulldogs, albeit this one much closer. The previous verdict was 33-6 in favor of Georgia. This one goes down in the books as a 24-21 victory for Georgia.
And Mark, this is our last game. I've enjoyed it. You are the best.
Likewise, my man. Wonderful to work with you. Happy New Year to you and your family, and also to Holly Rowe down on the field, who did another outstanding job. The final score, 24-21.